It's always a brand new day at Flint Hill, and today's team that will be bringing you your WPTV news is Team 1, featuring the anchors of Maria Carrillo, Hunter Mills, and Maya Schultz. Enjoy your news broadcast, boys and girls.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, April 13, 2022, and I am Maya with your announcements. This is what is going around Flint Hill today. Today will be Special Rotation F. Today is National Thomas Jefferson Day. Remember Howell, this is National Assistant Principals Week. More information to come. Now to our weather.
Good morning. I am Hunter with today's weather. The high will be 80 degrees and the low 60 degrees. Looks like it will be a cloudy day. Enjoy your day. Now to our lunch menu.
Hello, I'm Maria with your lunch menu. Today the cafeteria will be serving barbecue pork chop, barbecue chicken sandwich, macaroni and cheese, black-eyed peas, turnip greens, cornbread loaf, strawberries and cream, and your choice of milk. Now to Mr. Guest.
Hello, boys and girls. It's me, Mr. Guest. Here about our highlights for our assistant principal, Dr. Hips. Did you know that Dr. Hips taught at Mansfield Elementary before she came here? Did you know that Dr. Hips has a black belt in karate? Did you know that Dr. Hips has 3 children? Make sure you thank Dr. Hips for everything she does at Flint Hill. And when you see her, make sure you bow.
Please stand for the pledge.
Attention, salute.
Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today we're going to learn about the American President, Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd President of the United States, was born on April 13, 1743, in the colony of Virginia, the 3rd of 10 children. His parents, Peter and Jane Randolph Jefferson, were wealthy landowners and members of well-known Virginia families. As a child, Thomas Jefferson studied Latin, Greek, and French, as well as history, science, classic literature, and how to ride horses. When he was 14 years old, his father died, and the estate was divided between Thomas and his brother Randolph. When he was 16 years old, Thomas Jefferson entered the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia. There, he studied mathematics, philosophy, and practiced the violin. He graduated in 1762 and began working as a law clerk, and soon afterward he obtained his law license, beginning to practice as a lawyer in 1767. Thomas Jefferson also served as a delegate in the Virginia House of Burgesses beginning in 1769. In 1768, Jefferson began constructing his home, which he called Monticello. He worked for the rest of his life to make Monticello beautiful. In 1772, Thomas Jefferson married Martha Wales Skelton, a 23-year-old widow. Jefferson and his wife loved each other very much, and together they would have 6 children, although only 2 would survive to adulthood. Martha died in 1782 at the age of 33, leaving Thomas Jefferson grief-stricken. He would never remarry. In 1775, Jefferson was sent as one of the youngest delegates to the Second Continental Congress. The Revolutionary War had just begun, and the Congress decided that a formal declaration of independence from Britain was needed. Along with Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, Robert Livingston, and Roger Sherman, Thomas Jefferson began writing the Declaration of Independence. Although some changes were made by other members of the committee and later by Congress, Jefferson wrote most of it. The Congress ratified the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776, and it is now one of the most treasured documents in American history. Thomas Jefferson served as a colonel in the Revolutionary War and later spent 3 years in the Virginia House of Delegates before spending 2 years as governor of Virginia. He was an ambassador to France and the first United States Secretary of State. He was also the second U.S. Vice President, serving under President John Adams. On March 4, 1801, Thomas Jefferson became the 3rd President of the United States. He served for 2 terms, lowering taxes and reducing the national debt. In 1803, Jefferson bought a huge tract of territory from Napoleon, who needed money for the wars he was fighting in Europe. This is called the Louisiana Purchase, and it nearly doubled the size of the United States. Jefferson knew that people would want to move west and settle the new territory, and he wanted to explore the uncharted land. He sent Meriwether Lewis and William Clark on an expedition to see what lay westward. The Lewis and Clark expedition lasted more than 2 years and resulted in a great deal of information about the new frontier. After Thomas Jefferson retired from the presidency in 1809, he founded the University of Virginia and spent his days in his home and gardens at Monticello. Thomas Jefferson loved to read. He read everything from classic literature to political works and collected thousands of books in his lifetime. At one point, his personal library contained more than 6,500 books, but after the British burned the Library of Congress in 1814, he sold 6,000 of his books to the library to restart their collection. That didn't put a stop to his book collecting, however, for as he wrote to John Adams, "I cannot live without books." Thomas Jefferson died on July 4, 1826 at the age of 83. It was the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. He was buried at Monticello, and his tombstone bears the words he wrote himself. Here was buried Thomas Jefferson, author of the Declaration of American Independence, of the Statute of Virginia for Religious Freedom, and father of the University of Virginia. Today, Thomas Jefferson is remembered as one of the greatest presidents in the history of the United States for his defense of human liberty and his role in shaping the early history of his country. Thomas Jefferson can be found on the nickel and the $2 bill, as well as on Mount Rushmore alongside George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. and is remembered in the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C. The memorial is engraved with quotes from his writings, including the following line: "I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man." I hope you enjoyed learning about Thomas Jefferson today. Goodbye till next time.